I hope so.
So what like triggered, when was the first time you ever used cocaine?
Actually, it's weird. First time I ever used cocaine or really anything other than marijuana was on my 40th birthday, 40 years old. So
Really?
it will be 3 years ago this November.
And then what triggered you when you first started using it? What triggered you to use it?
There wasn't really a trigger, I don't think. What it was is I grew up most of my life, well, my entire life, kind of anti-drug. Smoked a little bit of weed here and there, drank very little throughout my entire life. Most of my family had drug problems, alcohol problems, so subconsciously or whatever, I stayed away from it. Every Friday or Saturday night back a few years back, we would play poker at my house. And one of the guys that would come to poker night would always do cocaine, and he was constantly asking me to do it, and I was constantly telling him no. This guy, Jared. And on my birthday, he's like, dude, it's your birthday. Just try a little bit. Peer pressure got me like a motherfucker. And I did. I don't know. I guess it might have been just like a key bump at that point. And I guess I was expecting a different feeling from it. I thought it was going to be like some crazy feeling like what you would imagine if somebody were to do heroin or something. I had no idea what to expect. And the feeling was kind of like, man, I feel pretty good. I got a little more talkative and just I was feeling myself. And it just kind of, from there, I would just do a little bit. I would do like, I'd buy, I don't know, a gram of cocaine and it would last me 2 weeks, and it just kind of, before I knew it, it was way out of fucking control.
So now when you do, I've never done it, you know what I mean? Because I like uppers, and I'm sure if I ever did it, I'd be fucked.
Right.
When you do it, like, how do you feel? What's the feeling that you get?
So, like you said, you like uppers, and it's very like superhuman feeling. When I say the word euphoric, not euphoric like when you hear people talk about Molly and ecstasy. It's more of a euphoric, problems don't matter. You have all of the answers. You want to keep going. You want to go out. And I'm a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. So it really allowed me to hold my liquor. I could start drinking with my friends or whatever. And when I feel myself getting a little buzzy or kind of tipsy, I do a little bump of cocaine and it kind of settles you back down.
And then it cleans you up.
It makes you right back to normal.
Really?
So you think.
You think, but you're still hammered.
Yeah.
But then you got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Yep. And yeah.
So when you do like a line, how long does it last?
Initially, if you do a line, and I guess it would depend on the quality or the grade of the cocaine, but if you're getting some decent cocaine, fish scale, which I don't even know if I've ever done pure cocaine. I have no fucking idea. As a matter of fact, I believe most people that are like, oh, I get pure shit. I believe nobody's really done pure cocaine unless they're getting it right off of a boat. But a line would last me maybe initially, I would probably feel pretty good for about an hour. And in the end, it was a line. It would just get me by until I could find enough time to go do another line. Not long at all.
So an hour a line?
Initially, yeah. In the end, maybe 5-10 minutes a line.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then the come down's a bitch?
Yes, because the come down is you're exhausted. You've potentially been going for 2 days, 3 days without really sleep. You're not eating for the most part. Or at least I'm not hungry. I have no appetite when I'm doing cocaine. And even though I would try to mentally, I got so bad with it that I would make alarms on my phone to ding to tell me, Dan, drink water, because the dehydration that it creates in your body, you're wrecked and at my age, I'm going to be 43. I'd be wrecked for the next 2 days where it would just fucking destroy me, where I'd have to make up lies and it was just causing chaos from every aspect of my life, from my business to my relationship to my children to, everything.
I didn't know that it made you dehydrated. Well, why? What the hell? How the hell does that make you dehydrated?
Well, you're drinking alcohol usually the entire time. Alcohol itself is going to dehydrate you. So imagine if you didn't stop drinking, and I would drink vodka and soda. It was kind of the drink. I don't do shots. It was never my thing, but vodka and soda for 2-3 days straight, even for a day straight, not really stopping, just constantly drinking. And you're hanging out with bottom of the barrel people that, and I was a bottom of the barrel person, so I can't, throw shade on them, but you're hanging out with people you probably normally wouldn't hang out with because the people that are good in your life aren't doing this. So you kind of disassociate from everybody and you kind of create these new characters.
Yeah. So now, when you do, so the whole time you were doing with alcohol, it wasn't just straight Coke. You were drinking and Coke.
I would say definitely most of the yes. Maybe there was a couple hours where towards the end you run out of alcohol and all of the bars are closed. It would start at like 8 or 9 at night, and you'd go out to a regular dive bar or just a local bar, and they would close between midnight and 2. And then you go to the 5 a.m. bars that stay open until 5 a.m. And then nobody wants to stop from there. So there's either after-hour bars or people pile in and you go to someone's house and you drink what you have and you run out of alcohol. And as soon as the cocaine's gone, everybody disappears. You see them like whittle away.
And then were you like waiting for like the alcohol store to open up in the morning so you could go get more? Like, what was it that bad with that?
No, I wasn't craving the alcohol as much as other people would crave the alcohol. There were times where I did that, yes, just because I didn't want people to leave. So I would go buy more alcohol to keep these people around. And unfortunately, most of the company I was keeping didn't have really any financial means to them. So not only was I providing all the alcohol, I was providing all of the cocaine. And this could be 3 or 4  8-balls in an evening. And, an 8-ball can range anywhere from a good price of like $175 up to $300 for an 8-ball. Wow. And when you're going through these mental trips of spirituality, what you're realizing is this is all just, it doesn't really matter. And all that stuff kind of leaves. And you start to feel this attachment to just, what are we supposed to do here? And the reason why our country is as fucked up as it is not just because of bad politicians. It's because I'm not using you as an example, but you in general, if you have to go to work and your car is on empty, you'll go spend $5 a gallon if you have to. Where if everybody said, you know what, I'm not going to buy gas for like a month. If everybody just united together and didn't buy gas, we would drop the prices down. We live in this fucked up world because we all live in our own little bubbles. And maybe cocaine was something that would kind of like let me escape that reality for a minute. But the ketamine and DMT brought me back to this point where I can't just cover this up and hide from it. If I really want to change my life and get away from the rat race and go buy land and live somewhere, I can't go do cocaine because I'm doing completely the opposite. I'm interacting with people that I normally wouldn't interact with. I'm not doing anything that betters my life for my health or goodness of anybody else. I'm destroying. I'm engaging with criminals. Who knows how many people have gotten to my car with guns, and how many times has somebody planned on robbing me where it just didn't happen? It was just every time you're doing these things, not thinking about it, you're putting yourself and everybody you're with potentially in severe danger, mentally and physically.
Well, you have DMT naturally occurring in your brain.
Yes.
So it's been there, but it was shut off. Like
right.
When we were evolving, like you needed the DMT to like go up against tigers and shit. You know what I mean? Because you like to kill. So they'd eat the fucking mushrooms, the psilocybin or whatever it was, in Jerusalem or wherever the hell they were. And the DMT was active in the brain because at the time they needed it, to live, because then you had the balls to go, if there's a lion, you got to kill the fucker to feed your family in a cave or whatever. You got the balls to do it. If there's one thing you could say to somebody, and I'll let you get out of here. If there's one thing you could say to somebody who's in the situation that you were in, what would you say to them? And I know, like, if you're in that zone, words usually don't work, but sometimes they do, or maybe it could. So before I let you go, what would you say to somebody that's going through what you went through to try to help them get the fuck off the shit, other than take modafinil?
First off, yeah. After you take your modafinil,
I love it. You know what I mean? So.
I think the big thing is first realizing that that you're not alone. You're not the only person going through this. The world's not going to end if you ask for help. And you really got to ask yourself, like, what in your life is going to be better if you continue using cocaine versus, the short-term pain of stop using it, meaning like I stopped using cocaine today, I'm going to want it tomorrow, I'm going to want it the next day. But you really have to find a way to replace those thoughts in your mind with, even though I want to do this, the consequences that come from this are slowly creating or slowly closing the pathway back. Every time you do it, it's one more time that you may not make the recovery back. You might get that bad batch that has fentanyl in it, or you might have that guy that pulls a gun on you in the back seat and, you don't get lucky and he shoots you in the back of the head. Look around to you, what's important in your life, and ask yourself, what is it that is going to require me to reach out for help? That's the biggest thing, is whether it's calling like the 1-800 number that we just saw on the screen, calling one of your best friends. And when you talk about it with somebody, about what you're going through, it really does, the reality caves in on you, because now that you've shared it out and with somebody, it's no longer a secret. It's no longer something that you're keeping from people that you think, all right, this is the last time. This is the last time. Once you tell people, you'll be surprised how much empathy is there, how much they're going, oh man, I'm so sorry you're going through this. But you're also going to be surprised where they go, I knew you were going through something. I just didn't know what it was. So trust me, your friends aren't fucking idiots. Your family's not an idiot. They may just not know how to bring it up to you. So you have to just take that step. You got to take the leap of faith. And you may have bad days and good days. You may relapse. Just because you fall off the bike doesn't mean you don't get back on it.